What's up, guys? This is the Extra Points podcast. We are the college football experience. My name is Gus. That's my boy, Will, and we're back. We were on a little hiatus. Take a little month off, man. But we are back, and spring football is here, baby. So we're going to be talking some spring football in a few episodes. We're going to be breaking down a bunch of teams in the SEC. But tonight, we're talking about all the new rule changes that are looking like they're going to happen for the 2024 season and beyond. And breaks my heart to say this, but it looks like we're going to be expanding the playoffs once again. So we are going to talk about that and how it affects college football and all of our experiences watching and going to the games. Will, long time no see, my friend.
What's up, guys? Yes, we got a pretty cool little episode tonight talking about some new rules in college football. Yes, you kind of mentioned the expansion is probably going to happen without even seeing the product of the 12-team playoff first.
Gross. Just gross.
When I saw the contract of what the 12-team playoff was, I was like, that's a lot of money. I bet they're going to try to make it even more.
That's all this is about. That's all this is about.
Yeah, it stinks, but
yeah,
as long as the product on the field doesn't get touched, I'm okay.
Yeah, and some of us think it will. Some of us think it won't. That's only something that time will be able to tell. Before we jump into any of that, man, y'all subscribe. Y'all subscribe because we're going to start pumping out the content once again. We did take that little break off, but man, we're hitting the train. We're hitting the tracks rolling, brother. We're going to be pumping out the content. So y'all make sure to subscribe and go check out them campus videos that we made this fall at Alabama, LSU, and Auburn. They are legit. Let's talk about the new technology and rules coming to college football. We are looking at kind of how the NFL has the communication in the helmet that will be coming to college football as well. They're going to be able to use tablets and stuff on the sidelines to be looking at film while they're in the game. And we're getting 2-minute warnings in the first and second half of games. Well, we can start with you. How do you feel about the communication in the helmets, and how do you think it's going to change college football moving forward?
I'm okay with it. I don't see any issue with them adding this. This was pretty cool to me. I'm more interested to see how the coaches are going to communicate with the teams. We were talking about this before we got started. A lot of teams like to go fast. What's the time limit between you can speak to the quarterback and the coach? Because there are a lot of teams who do no huddle. Is it 10, 15 seconds like the NFL?
So I think the rule is going to be where they cut it off at 15 seconds on the play clock.
So it'd be interesting to see, like, you got 15 seconds, so you're trying to hurry. And then are you still going to do the signs, or are you just going to kind of let the quarterback do his thing and let him do the signs out there with the guys?
I think on offense, it'll mainly, I could see a world kind of, it's a mixture. I think on both sides of the ball, specifically in those type of speedy offenses, it'll be a mixture. So like you will get the quarterback will be able to get the play in. He'll be able to tell the running back. He'll be able to tell all of the line.
He will probably just communicate to the line, and the receivers are going to have to look over and see.
Yeah, and see signs probably.
And I wonder, like, are the coaches going to be able to hear the play as well, or will the quarterback and the coach be on two different channels? It'll be interesting to see how they handle it. I think it's pretty cool. It'll be fun to check it out. I kind of mentioned this to you. Who will be the first one to try to cheat? Who will be the first one to pull it? Who will pull the Patriots and try to listen to the other team? Because it'll happen.
Someone's going to do it.
I mean, in the first year, somebody's channel thing has got to accidentally swap over.
That
stuff's not perfect.
We already have people that try to hack into other teams' film. So if you have people that are trying to hack between like team and team's film, you're going to have people that are going to be trying to hack the comms. So that'll for sure happen. And like, how will they regulate, like, how long, like, that'll be just, like, another referee that'll have to be able, like, to regulate the comms. So,
Yes, they'll
that'll be
have to
interesting.
hire somebody, or somebody there will have another job to do.
Yeah, yeah. So that'll be interesting. And kind of like you were talking about, will they still be doing signs? I wholeheartedly believe on the defensive side of the ball that you'll have the linebacker. He will be just controlling the front seven, and then you'll have the secondary, and they'll be controlled with signs from the sidelines. I still 100%
I
believe that.
I'm gonna tell you something, dude. I think kinda going to the tablet thing, I think the defenses are gonna get better with the
I do
tablets.
too. I do
'Cause
too.
I think their coaches are gonna be able to make adjustments better. They're gonna be able to see it. I mean, high school and NFL have tablets, so the it's college should have it too. I don't see what the big deal
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. Um, I think it's gonna make the games even better. I think defenses will benefit more than the offenses will. Offenses are gonna do their things. The coaches might make a
Do
few
you think
adjustments
we'll
here
see
and
more
there.
do you think we'll see more defensive coordinators come out of the booth and onto the field so they'll be able, like, to show players on the tablets, or
Well, they'll have
do you
assistants
think
that can
Yeah,
do it. So, like, if you have a guy up there, he'll just say, "Hey, go to," and he can write on it, and then they will see who's
yeah,
what is written on it, and they can show them down there. But I could see if they want to be more hands on with it,
yeah,
and they can see it already from a higher angle. Yeah, I mean, I could see him saying, "Yeah, I'm coming down."
yeah.
Because I can see the high vantage point in my hand right here.
And
Um,
so it's like you almost get, like, the best of the both worlds is, like, you're able to I also wonder if they'll have the ability to, like, live stream it to a tablet that's down on the field. Because how cool
yeah.
would that be? So so,
So
like
what
so, like,
it'll
you do
be
kinda get the best of both worlds.
yeah, so pretty much the high school, what it is if like right when the play happens, it's on the iPad.
That's
So you can
sick.
watch it as the like right after the play happens, you can watch it. Now
Yeah.
you can't watch like a live stream of it, but
That'd be cool
it'll
if you could watch, like, a live stream of it. I
that
mean
would be
I
cool.
mean,
It'll
I don't see
be
why not.
it I don't know how they could let that how it could be how you could do that.
Yeah, like,
Um
how it could be, like, instantaneous like that.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. But plus, you wouldn't wanna watch it live on the I mean, you're watching it in your face,
Right.
you
No,
because you're
no,
not gonna watch it.
so the whole thing that I'm saying is so they can get, like, the best of both worlds where they're able to be on the field, but they're still able to get that sky view level to where they're still
Oh,
able to see the whole field, but they're
uh,
seeing it directly in front of them, but they're on the sideline. I
yeah,
mean,
I don't know if they'll get it live in front of them, but they will get the sky view
like,
in
instantaneous
f
after it
yeah,
happens.
yes, right after it happens. They'll be able to change. They'll get end zone copy, they'll get a wide copy, they'll have, like, 4 or 5 different ways to watch it, on the
I
sideline.
mean I mean, that's a
So
really
it'll
big
be
tool to help them adjust. Like, that's a
yeah,
really big tool to help the defenses.
which offensive coaches will if they see something, they'll pick it apart, but
You're
the
right.
defensive coaches will see what they're probably seeing and say, "All right, we gotta fix that right there," because they're
Yeah.
probably about to expose us right there. So, because I think defenses have been kind of struggling over the last
Yeah.
since like COVID, kind of. We haven't had we've had Georgia had an elite defense, but we haven't had much
Yeah.
elite defensive gameplay in a while. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what happens.
That'll be really interesting. And then we got the 2-minute warning that I'm kind of conflicted about. This was something else you and I were talking about whenever we were about to go um and start this recording. I would have much rather them given extra timeouts that you can take between the half. So like give 5 timeouts for the whole entire game, and then you get the 5 timeouts for the whole game. I mean, I think that that would create more of a coaching advantage between coaches that are good with timeouts, coaches that are bad with timeouts, and then you be able to strategically use those to make comebacks in the game. Then just say, oh, since the NFL does it, we get a 2-minute warning in the first half and a 2-minute warning in the second half. That's another commercial slot. Yeah, boys, let's do it. I
I
mean,
hope, I hope, I don't think it is by any means, but I hope this is them saying, okay, we're going to take less commercials from these slots and we're going to fit them in right here at the two
I'll
minute
believe it when
spot.
I see it.
That way, I mean, I don't believe that, but that's what I want to believe. That's what I
Yeah,
want them to do because, like, maybe they're listening to us saying, all right, we want less commercials. Okay, well, we got to fit them somewhere, guys, if y'all want all this money still. So
yeah.
let's
So
fit them in
let's
this
give
little
a 2-minute
spot.
warning.
But I don't know. I don't have a problem with the 2 minute warning. It is what it is.
Yeah,
It'll it'll be interesting to see how the coaches handle it because they will game
yeah.
plan around it now. I mean, if they
Oh
know they
yeah,
got a
for
timeout
sure.
at 2 minutes, they're gonna save that last one. So
Yeah, yeah.
it'll be interesting to see. But I don't think it'll change anything. It's not going to affect the game outcome by any
Overall, it
means.
shouldn't.
Yeah,
No.
but I do think we're getting too much like the NFL. I mean, we're not. We're pretty much a semi-pro league at this point.
And this is an interesting story that I heard the other day. Do you know why the NFL adopted the 2-minute warning in the first place? It was before they had clocks in the stadiums to where you knew how much time was in the games. So
Mm,
so so whenever it got to the 2 minutes, the ref would pause the game and say, "This is the 2-minute warning. Let's all take a break." So the teams would know how much time was left. So it
mm,
really doesn't have any relevancy in today's game. It's like almost
no,
just but it's like a traditional thing in the NFL, and just because it's an opportunity for them to sell more commercials, for them to
it
sell
is.
more ad space,
It
that's
is.
what college football is doing. And it's just kind of ridiculous. But
Yeah, their their whole thing behind it is for commercials. I
oh
mean,
yeah.
we know it. Like you can tell us, oh well, it's to help prevent this, to help the coaches. No, it's not. It's for you
Shut the
money.
hell up. Yeah.
That's what it is, and it is what it is. I don't have a problem with it, but we know why you're doing it because it is irrelevant to the game at this point. We have all the technology in the world.
There's there's bigger issues in the sport of college football than them adding a a a 2-minute warning. There
It's
are a
like we
lot bigger issues than that.
refuse to address the main problems in a quick manner. It takes
Well,
us 5
yeah.
years to fix
Yeah.
the problem that we started.
Um,
It's okay.
But
We're gonna fix it here soon. But we just have to
yeah.
become our own governed body.
Yep. That'll happen sooner rather than later, I believe. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about the new signing day proposal that happens. This is a big change that I think will benefit college football in a very big way. So they're proposing a signing day the final Wednesday in June, and you still keep the signing day in the first week of February, but move the December signing day to the Wednesday after college football season ends. So it's like in between the end of
So
the
what
regular
is the
season and
June?
the conference championship.
So what is the June one? Like are they coming
No.
into
So
college and they're wait or are they
no,
going
no, no,
into
no,
their
no.
senior year and they're signing?
They would go into their senior year signed. They would go
Dude,
into their senior year signed to a college.
I
And
bet a
the
lot of
only way
families would like that.
I think the college coaches would really like it. I don't think the high school coaches are going to be all about it, because then you could have an absolute stud sign and then he could sit his
Oh,
senior year of high school ball. But I
Yeah,
don't think the
but
college coaches will want to see they
no,
want
no,
them to play their senior year of high school football. But
y-
I guarantee you, you will have kids that'll sit their senior year of high school.
you. It depends on what type of kid you want to recruit. If you're
Right.
a Lane Kiffin, Lincoln Riley, I could see their types of kids sitting. But the
Mhm.
kids that like Kirby Smart recruits, man,
You
and
want them to play,
they're
but think
playing
you
their
want them
senior
to
year
get
football.
developed. Yeah, you want
Yes,
them to get those snap counts
I th- I
because that's just
see
how it is when you're
what
young.
the thought process is with the Bajoon. I like it because you get it done, you get it over with, and you can focus
Mhm.
on your senior year of football. And then you're
Mhm.
not going on all these
You're not
recruiting
going on
trips
these
on the
recruiting trips.
weekends. And the college
Mhm.
coaches are probably going to love it. They probably
Yeah.
just want June and February. That's probably
Yeah.
all they want. June and February.
Yeah.
We can get over with. We know our classes. Uh, by the time we start season, the only thing that stinks though is how many of them are going to ask to be out of their what is it, national letter of intent.
10. Yeah. So I think they're working on rules for that too. They'll either have to be granted or they'll have to use their transfer. So sorry, Charlie. And some people are upset with the December date getting pushed up earlier to be in between the end of the regular season and the start of the conference championship games. But think about it. Only 16 teams, no, only 14 teams are playing in a conference championship game. So you have 131 teams and only 14 teams are going to be the ones that are getting screwed.
Let
And
me ask you,
you'll have most of your class wrapped up by then too.
the college coaches will force this June date to be important. They will force the
Yes.
kids. You need to
Yes.
sign. You need to sign. You need to sign. And
Mhm.
how many of them will try to graduate early
A
to
bunch.
get on campus in the
A
fall?
bunch. A bunch.
How many high school coaches are just going to be pissed? They're
A
about to
ton.
lose their
This
starting quarterback.
This screws the high school coaches. This
Mhm.
this this date screws the high school coaches.
Just so these college coaches don't have to worry about December no more. Especially
Mhm,
these 12 team playoff, 14 playoffs teams, dude. They're
mhm,
going to be so happy, man. They can just focus on
mhm.
their team. They don't have to worry about hosting these recruits and worried about who's going to sign, who's going to flip. Man,
It'll
it'll
all
be
probably
interesting.
be done in the summer.
I don't
It'll
know why
all
we just
probably be
can't.
done in the summer.
Why can't we just do February?
That's the
How
perfect world, dude.
how
That's the perfect world.
fun.
Or or just move it to like, well, yeah, the first week. Well, you have the problem with the early in enrollees now.
Why do they need
They
to enroll early?
I mean, so they're able to
It's
get into spring
nice.
ball.
It's
Yeah, I
nice,
mean, that's
but
a big
do
deal
they?
now.
It is a big deal, but it's not necessary.
I don't
That's
think it is, but it's God, man, it's a luxury for these
it's a
teams to
nice.
get those 2 weeks with those guys and whew, to go ahead
It
and get
is,
them in the
but
strength room, go ahead and get them in the
yeah,
nutrition program.
though I would say getting them more in the weight room and getting them more acclimated to what you do
Mhm.
than
Yeah,
than spring ball, unless one of them's just a stud.
yeah,
But I can see more of the weight room stuff being like really
yeah,
important than getting them on
yeah.
the field. But it's not necessary. Like it's not. It's important, but it's not like a necessity. I wouldn't think. I
No.
think February is
I
perfect.
I also think in the grand scheme of things, this is all kind of gonna be irrelevant in 3 to 5 years because they're gonna be employees. They're not gonna have
Yeah,
to worry about when school starts. It'll kinda be like, this is the period where you're able to sign people. This is when spring ball starts. This is when we have the scrimmages in the off season, and this is when the actual season starts, and then it'll be a more structured calendar when we don't have to go around the school calendars, which I think is going to happen in 2 to 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, and then they can, hey, look, this is the school signing. You do have to go to school here, but you don't have to start. You can be on
School,
the team doing all the stuff,
yeah, but
but
this is
you don't
when
have to be
classes
going to.
starts if you wish to
Yeah,
partake.
look, you can do spring ball and wait till the summer to start classes. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I don't know why we can't make that now. Why it's such a big deal? Like,
that you have to be
clearly, if
enrolled
they're
in school. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, it's dumb, dude. If they're there on campus, or just have classes that are like, all right, you have 9 weeks. They're online. You have 9 weeks to complete it. Start it
yep,
when you want to. Complete it in 9 weeks. Start at your own
yep.
pace.
But
But it is what it
that's
is.
just the way it is, brother.
I
Yep,
could talk about
man.
that topic. That's a whole different episode of the school calendar and all that
School,
crap.
the
With
freaking
with
school calendar ruins people, dude. It
yeah,
ruins recruitment.
yes, it does.
Absolutely ruins recruitments, man. Can you believe that the playoff is going to expand again? That it's likely going. It isn't
It's going to,
official yet, but
dude.
we know these were
Yeah.
these son of a guns plans from the beginning, from the
Oh, dude,
very
it's going to get
very
all the way up to
beginning.
16. It'll get all the way up to 16, dude. 16 will be its max. It gets to.
Hold up as I go vomit real quick. I mean,
I'm
it's just awful.
telling you,
I
dude.
mean,
I could.
it's gross. It's gross. It's
Here's the deal:
mhm.
the product on the field right now is not broken. It's the stuff around college football that's broken. That's ruining the
Mhm.
sport. But they're going to ruin the product on the field if they keep
Mhm.
making it bigger and bigger.
Mhm.
And it sucks, man, because it's not the sport that we loved and grew up watching.
Nope. So the college football playoff, we already know it's going to be expanding to 12 teams with a 5 auto bid and 7 at larges starting this season. So one auto bid for SEC, Big Ten, ACC, Big 12, and the highest ranked group of 5 champion, and then 7 at larges.
God damn.
Mhm.
Group of five. Yes.
Starting in 2026, it will be 3 at larges for the SEC, three at
They better
larges for the
hope
Big Ten,
we're
two
here.
for the ACC,
They better hope the Big Ten and the SEC are here in 2026. That's what they better hope.
two for the Big 12, one for the Group of 5, and then 3 at larges. Here's my 2 to 3 biggest takeaways from it all. Well, my 4 biggest takeaways from it. One, are the Big 12, I mean, are the SEC and the Big 10 eventually going to break away and say, we really don't care for this? Two, we don't even know what these conferences are going to look like. We don't know what the ACC is going to look like. I can tell you what the ACC is going to look like. It ain't going to have Florida State. It ain't going to
It's
have
not going to
Clemson.
exist
It isn't going to have Miami. It's not going to have North Carolina. It's going to
to
implode.
evaporate.
I don't,
Yeah.
yeah, where those teams go, I don't know. But I feel as if they're not going to be in the ACC. I feel as if the ACC is going to implode with the Pac-12. This might, though, it has the slimmest chance of keeping them together just because there are those auto bids. So it kind of gives them a little kind of relevancy just to say like, oh, we have this access. So that
Well,
would be their saving grace, would be the
yeah,
access.
it would be like, all right, guys, let's think about this. Do we want to go play in the SEC and the Big Ten and we're all fighting for one auto bid? Or do we want to stay in this conference? Yes, we do make a little bit less money, but we're the four best teams in this conference. We fight the four, we fight amongst us four to make it, or we
To
fight amongst the 12 over there in the SEC who
right,
are just as good as all four of us, if not better
right,
than all four of us.
right.
It'll
So that would be what I would see that would keep the ACC together. But then again, I
You said
think the bridges are
something.
burned.
You said something. You don't know if the Big Ten and the SEC will even be a part of this. They will not.
Right.
2 years, we will be doing our own thing. Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, Miami, they will come with us. I don't know what conference they'll be in, but we will be doing our own thing
I mean,
without the NCAA in
I
two
mean,
years.
I I mean, I could see all of college football kind of going that
Oh, and
direction.
then
And then
the Big 12 and all them, they'll join us a year or two later
yeah.
because
And
they will
so
see we're we're a 10, $100 billion industry just gaining
yeah.
profit.
And so those are two of the four things. The third one is it's going to force Notre Dame to join a conference.
They they
I
got
think
to
it
Big Ten.
I think it'll force them to join the Big 10. I
They're a
think
Big
it'll
Ten
force
team.
them to join the Big 10, and then the fourth and final thing, it's gonna ruin conference championships. Like,
Yeah, well,
will
this 12 team's going to ruin it. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
it,
I well, not ruin it. It it will
it
forcibly change it to
yes.
something we haven't seen yet.
Why would you want to go play in it? I
No.
got to go play. I got
Yeah.
to go play at Ohio State next week. Why do I want to play
Yeah.
Georgia in this SEC championship game?
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know,
just
man. I think you got to make those. We got to turn the conference championship games into the first round playoff games or
yeah,
something.
because that's something that Josh Pate has floated out there that like each of these conferences they have their own little they have like a mini playoff that's technically a part of the expanded playoff. I think that would be phenomenal. So like you have the top 4 from the SEC, the top 4 from the ACC, the Big 12 and the Big 10. They all play and then you get the winners of those. You're able to figure it out. So you're able to incorporate the conference races.
You
So you really highlight the conference races, which then puts a more premium on the regular season. Be like, oh, so like these teams are fighting out for these spots in the conferences to play each other to get access to this. So yes, it's an expanded playoff, but you still keep that validity. You still keep that precious feeling of the regular season.
you could let it be a last chance game.
Yeah.
Like if you want to figure out who the 8th through the 12th is or whatever, you
Yeah.
let you let those teams fight it out in the they wouldn't be conference championship games no more, but in these same venues,
Yeah.
they play in these like last chance games. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fifth thing that just hit me, which seating is gonna be the best? Which seating? I think it's the fifth seed because you'll get a home playoff game and then you'll more than likely get to play the G5 team. So you will get to play the easiest team in the bunch. And then you'll get to play, is it the fourth seed if if you win? I think it is. Yeah, you will get to
Yeah,
play the
you would
fourth
get to
seed.
possibly play the ACC champ.
Right. Right.
That'd be
So
nice.
yeah, so say if you were like the number fifth team and you were, say, like LSU, you get to play Tulane, and oh, you just mop the floor with them.
Smoke them. Yeah.
Then say you get to go play the Big 12 champion UCF. I mean, what?
Colorado.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, what a delight having the fifth seed would be. Yeah, you wouldn't get that bye, but you would have 2 weeks to get hot. Oh, brother.
Another thing I would want to fix about this, I love the first rounds at home games. Let's make the
Have the
second
second rounds at
round.
home.
Yeah. dude,
be awesome.
don't do the neutral sites until the final four in the championship.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, but because
No, it's
why? It's
not.
all about the money.
But man, that would
That'd
be,
be
dude.
so
These
sick.
campuses would be electric,
Ooh, that
dude.
gives
They'd
me
be
chills thinking
the.
about it.
Can you imagine going to the swamp in December
Oh,
and it's
could
so freaking loud in there because it's a
bro,
home playoff game?
could could you imagine going to Penn State in the middle of freaking December? It's pissing snow,
Oh God,
6,000 people. It's a true freaking whiteout. Everyone's wearing white. The field's white. It's precipitating white powder. And the place just, oh my gosh. Wait. Oh, that right there would be lit. And if they were able to incorporate that with like the conference tournaments too, so it still kept the validity of the regular season. And then you got those postseason home atmospheres too.
speaking of
Son of
Penn
a
State,
gun, and get going.
Penn teams like Penn State, Auburn, Tennessee, Florida, these teams right now. Let's see. There's a few more that I'm not thinking of, but like that team who's going to be floating around 12 to 14,
Yeah.
who's clearly better than this G5 school.
G5 BS.
Dude, who's gonna get screwed first from a G5 school?
Mhm.
It's got to be Penn State, right?
I
It's
don't
just
think I don't think it'll be Penn State. I think it'll be like the 9-3 SEC team. I think it'll be like the
which
9-3 Auburn. I think it'll be like the 9-3 Tennessee. It'll be like the 9-3
yeah,
Kentucky. It'll be the 9-3 Missouri, or or it could be like a 9-3 USC. It could be like a 9-3 Wisconsin.
this
Someone like
G5
that.
school
I think Penn
better
State's
be undefeated.
too. Yeah, yeah.
If they're
And
undefeated, I'm okay with it.
I ain't even if they're undefeated.
If
You,
if they've
I
earned
mean,
it like UCF did those years, if they've earned it, they've been grinding for a few years,
I
then
mean,
just put them in there.
I
But I
mean,
think you got to earn it. It's got to be like 3 consecutive years of you. Now you're in your 4th year. You've got a bunch of seniors. All right, we got to
I
put them
think
in.
I think Cincinnati was the perfect example of they went. I think I th- think they went undefeated the year before, or or did they have a single regular season loss the year before?
I can't remember, but they're a
I think
perfect
they had
example, like,
one.
of
Yeah,
what I'm talking about.
where like you got to string the 2 years together, and even
Oh,
then, I don't
you
think you're.
better be beating the crap out of people in that 3rd year.
Yeah, because
And your schedule difficulty, you better have some P5 guys on there.
yeah, and it's just the average of quality of competition. Like when you looked at Liberty's strength of schedule from this year, I'm
Oh, it's
pretty
terrible.
sure I'm pretty sure it was 131 out of 131. You
Why can't
you dude, you could have put. I'm trying to think of like a mad team from the SEC this past year. You could have given Auburn Liberty schedule a 6-6 SEC team, and we just because we lost to New Mexico State, I can't say that we would have gone undefeated. We could have gone 11-1 and been ranked in the top 25. But then you have SEC teams that have Florida's schedule, the hardest November schedule in the history of college football, but they're going to get penalized because they're forced to play. They're
why
forced to
can't
go swimming
we
in a volcano and then parachute out into a hurricane for a football
why
schedule.
can't we just
It's
do the eye
ridiculous.
test? Why can't we just do the eye test and say, all right, these are clearly the 12 best? Why do we have
They're
to
going to have
include
to
them
start
in it?
doing it.
Why do we have to include them in the playoffs? What are they going to benefit from this? Nothing. They're going to be a sacrificial lamb and just get derailed.
Shout out Paul Feinbaum.
Yeah,
I
that was my
mean,
dog.
I mean, I think once they get blown out enough in the first game, I think ESPN will be like, okay.
Let's
And
throw
then
a 9 and
whenever they
3
get the
Missouri team in
viewership
there.
ratings, yeah, ever they get the ratings, oh, 12 million less people watch this game. Oh, 25 million less people watch. Well, 25 million is a lot for a college football game. 15, 17 million less people watch this 52-7 blowout. We're going to get them out of here. When I think when the stands of the home games are clearing at the start of the third quarter, because it's 38-3, and then LSU just gets the ball back, and then they score to go up 45-3. Oh,
Dude,
man.
it's gonna be frustrating, but you know what? They're gonna have to deal with the consequences because
Yeah.
I mean, all of us will watch the first quarter until it's done. Then it'll be done after that.
I
They're gonna have to
refuse
get
to watch the playoff game with the G5 team.
they're
I'm not
gonna
watching it.
they're gonna have to get lucky and some injuries are gonna have to happen or something wild for them to beat the team to move on to
Yeah.
the next round.
And
But my
and
luck, they'll
I
freaking
already hear it
win.
now. I already hear it now. Oh, well, UFC, UCF beat Auburn. You had Boise State beat Oklahoma. Tulane beat USC. Shut up.
It wasn't for to go to the national championship though, or
It
to go to the next round.
exactly. Those teams, those Power 5 teams did I don't care what y'all say. They did not want to be there. They simply did not. You they were interviewing Auburn players, and you had Auburn players saying, and plus, of course, this was behind closed doors. They were telling people, "Oh, this is like the fifth or sixth most serious game that we're having this entire season. Whenever they were playing UCF, they didn't want to be there. I mean, we had just lost the SEC championship game after beating back-to-back number one teams. You think we cared about that game? No. So it's a completely different scenario.
Yeah, it'll be. I think the playoff itself is fun. It's a great idea. They just need to fix it. Just tweak it up a little bit. And
Hmm.
if you're gonna do 12, then pick the 12 best.
Exactly.
Let's not do conference auto bids either.
No.
And then do the whoever the four best teams are, give them the four top seeds, and then let's move
Get
on.
r- get rid of auto bids. Get rid of the committees, and just use the BCS to get the just use the BCS to get the top 12 teams. Those are the top 12 teams.
Yes, we are making this harder than it has to be.
But that's just the way that humans have done it for centuries, and that's the way that we're going to keep continuing to do it until the end of time. But you know what? We're going to be here and we're going to be talking about it when it happens, baby. I think we're diving into Auburn. Me and Logan we are going to be diving into what's happening in Auburn this offseason, this spring, what we're going to be looking forward to this season. Me and Brandon Smith, our good buddy who's a diehard Georgia fan, sees everything through red and black glasses. We are going to be getting him on here this week as well. We are going to be, again, we're diving into all things Georgia. And then I think you and Cody are going to talk about things Florida here soon.
Yeah. Logan, what I want you to talk to him. I want to know about Cam Coleman.
Dog.
Seeing they already got spring
Dog.
practice started, and he looks like a
Yeah.
freak out
Freak
there.
of nature.
Like I see the wide receiver group lined up, and you can immediately tell
And
who
and
he
that's him.
is. He's
And
freaking
he's
just. He looks like Julio out there a little bit.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Georgia. It pains me to say this, but I want to see what
Trevor,
ETN can do. I
I
want to
want to
see what
see
he can do over
ETN.
there.
I also
I
want
kind of
to
want to. I kind of want to like see somebody Brandon Spikes him though, and just lay him out.
I
Just
also wanna talk to Brandon about, like, who's gonna be the wide receiver to step up this year, who will be the offensive lineman to step up this year,
who's going to
who
be the
who does
guy?
he think's gonna be the defensive who does he think that people will be on the defensive front that'll step up this year?
I
There's a lot
think
of questions that I
collectively,
want answered about Georgia.
Georgia's going to be a better team,
Better.
but
Mhm. I do too.
they need to find that how to replace the productivity with Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be looking forward to, especially watching
Mhm.
them. It'll be interesting to see what Brandon says. I was hoping I could be a part of that episode, but got to coach some middle school soccer.
Oh, man. I
So
I I also wanna get his take on the schedule. Since they're not gonna be able to technically hide in the East, I want to see how
as a
he feels
Georgia
about
fan,
their
you have to
schedule.
be excited about it.
Excited!
Texas,
Yeah.
Georgia, I mean Texas, Alabama, Clemson. You know, you still get your Auburn game, you still get your Florida game, you still got some games you're gonna win easily.
Dude,
But it's cool that
I
they
would
get some really
love
big road games, and I want to
they
see
go
Georgia get
to Ole
big.
Miss this year.
I want to see
That's gonna
Georgia get
be
big home games, dude.
yeah.
They say Athens is crazy. Like
Athens is this,
I just
Athens is a poop
give
hole.
me give me a big 7:30 Georgia game. Oklahoma coming into Athens. I want to see it. I want to see them screaming their guts out.
Do you know what I wanna see, which is a topic for another day?
What?
I wanna see Florida going into Athens at night, and I wanna see Georgia going into the swamp at night. I don't see
Oh
how
God. If
man.
Billy Napier is still there, I will be at both those games.
Oh, diggity.
If he's still the head coach, I will be at both those games.
If he isn't the head coach, I will be at both of those games.
Well,
'Cause I wanna see that. I wanna see it.
I will
Just
definitely be at
just
I'll
like
definitely be at the one in Florida. Georgia's tickets are just way more expensive.
just
And
like how I wanna see Texas go into Texas A&M for the first time in 13 years, I want to see Florida go into Athens. I wanna see Georgia go into Gainesville. But that's a topic for another day, baby. That's a topic for another day. Will, my friend, take it easy. And like always, man, it was a great time talking to you about college football. You got anything to say before we sign off?
I do not, man. I hope you guys enjoy our little spring our spring game breakdowns of these teams. College football will be here before we know it.
Tick, 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 tick.
Hope you guys are enjoying the off season. Um, but yeah, man, appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episodes. Tell us what you think about the college football playoff expansion. Do you like it? Do you not like it? How would you like to see it change? So that being said, good night, guys. See you guys later.